Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Regina, and welcome to Loa Days, where I talk about my day to day and any of the hobbies that I do. So yeah, I'm done. Writing was that was what I was trying to talk about. Writing. Yeah, my writing. I think I did a lot of the job application. Like that took most of my time today, and then I tried to write, but there's just my mind. It was not clicking where I couldn't remember what direction I wanted my story to go in. So I have to remember that. Maybe I have to make a video about that because I just for myself to remember, yeah. Because otherwise I'm like there's just something about like how the story is starting that it's not giving enough character for my character. And so I literally I'm just like looking at reviews on Google about how to write like in a mangaka person, because I feel like I was just thinking about this earlier today, and I was thinking like, what are the shows like I love watching, and then what do they have in common? And I love watching anime, and I grew up like reading a lot of manga, and so it's just like, wait, this is something that like it is always in, you know, it's always in what I watch because the stories are so good, but they always come up with the same thing. Like people will be having the same powers, but it's how the writer writes their backstory. That it could be a power that helps them, that makes them OP, or it could be a power that makes them like not so OP. Like how many animes have you seen somebody with a freezing power, fire power? And like it's just literally the character and the backstory that makes them so different and how they interact in that world. And so I just thought about it, and I was like, yeah, they're like people, anime writers, manga writers, they're kind of OP with storytelling. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna study that a little more, and especially since I've been watching One Piece, and I've been binging that series from beginning till now. I'm on episode. I'm on episode 1,000 officially. No, I'm not. I lied. No, I think it's 990. No, 923 or something like that. And I just like watching that whole anime. I'm just like, oh my god, the story, like god tier writing, god tier. I was like every loophole, every feeling that you might think that's like, ooh, I don't know if they're gonna wrap this up. How are they gonna wrap this up? Everything gets wrapped with a nice bow, and it's just how they can convey such emotion and make me feel so much emotion. Like sometimes I think I said this in a different video, but I was like, when they introduced Sabo, I was like, this is not what's it called? This is not core. What do they call it when this is not what is it called? Canon. This is not canon. The whole time I was like, this is not canon. It feels like they're adding it on. But tell me why the moment I seen his silhouette, I was bawling my eyes like, Sabo! I was like, wait, when did they build that like endearment and love like for the character that like literally it felt like it was like a little bit like a I'm gonna do a little writing now, but you know what I mean. So like, that's the thing. That's the beauty. That's the magic of. Maybe I'm just thinking about him, Oda, the writer, because I think he is just phenomenal. I don't even know how he plans it out or anything, but I'm just like, I'm watching it, but I'm also learning. You know what I mean? And so, yeah. So like, so that's why I'm like thinking about my characters. I'm just like, I kind of want my character to have a quirk, and I kind of want them to have like a feeling or something like that, where they're just something about my character that is different. I want them to be like, what's the word? I want them to feel like real people, but also have like different, like, I want them to feel like real person, but unique as well. And I don't want to force like their backstory or how they're feeling. I just want it to be like where you can jump into that world and that person is a fully like fleshed out person in their behaviors and mannerisms, the way they speak, their interests, what they like, what they don't like. And so like that was what I was trying to write when I was inside. I was really just I made a list and I was like, okay, what is my character like? What does my character not like? What does my character have a strong opinion on? What does my character not have a strong opinion on? Because I feel like that's the thing that's stopping me from like moving the story down, moving this story along. Because in the story, I have like concrete, like flowing parts of the story where I know scene for scene what scenes I want. But in those scenes, I don't really know how my character moves or engages in that world, because I really don't feel like I have like the character fleshed out. And so like right now I'm like really trying to build that character. And then also I'm kind of struggling with the fact that I don't want it to feel very cliche and be like, oh, my character's a tinker. They like to fix things, but there's one thing they can't fix. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be like that. I just like, I want it to feel human and nuanced, where without it feeling very cliche and gimmicky. And like, yeah, bridging that gap in the middle, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how I'm going to get there, but that's what I'm noticing. That's what I noticed when I was writing today. And yeah, so I think I'm going to try to figure out my character. And I think the thing that helps me usually is actually just drawing it out and figuring it out. If I can figure out her outfit and things like that, then I think I can figure out who this character is. That's what my writing was today. And it was a good writing session, you know. It's like, I try not to be, I try to just like make it about showing up and not being about like the quality of the work that I'm coming back with or how long I've spent on it. Yeah, because if I do that, then I will like step right into my perfectionist trap, and one day I can't have the same output as I had other days. Then I'll just throw me down a spiral of a shame spiral, really. And so I don't want to get into that kind of situation. So I've been really just making writing more about showing up and noticing things and having a little bit of awareness. Like, so I like every time I finish writing, I always like to come back and think, okay, what was working? Why wasn't something working? And I question different things, because, you know, this is my first time really writing, screenwriting. I mostly wrote like poetry and narratives, but even that, it wasn't something I did on the regular. Poetry, yes, but nothing else. So, this was a whole different ballgame. And, for me, writing with this style of writing, it's a little difficult, but I think like thing that I know that I can do that'll help me the most is creating the outline, and that's the thing that I've been struggling the most with, like, because it's basically like framing the whole story and how things will flow. You don't really know what the characters are going to say in those scenes, but you know the feeling that you want to convey. And so I think that's why I'm spending so much time on this outline, because it is important to me. And even though it's like something I'm going to create on my own, it's like it's something that that I'm trying to really learn how to write. I'm trying to really learn how to tell a story and translate that into film. This concludes my library day. Hold on. Anyway, yeah, I just finished coming from the library. I did a lot of job hunting, and I was really proud about that one because I applied to some jobs in film, and I don't know, something about it, like actually going after the thing that you want to do and putting the application in and being like, okay, yeah, I did that. So it's really nice.